It is not because you are getting older. It is not because you stopped going to the gym. It is not because your knees gave out. It is because squats were never enough in the first place. After 50, 5 specific muscles in your legs start shutting down silently. The ones that stabilize your knees when you walk downstairs. The ones that push you forward with every stride. The ones that lift your foot high enough to clear a curb. The ones that keep you standing when the ground shifts under you. Squats do not reach them, machines do not reach them, and every year you ignore them, your real leg strength drops even when you are still training. These 5 exercises wake up every muscle squats leave behind and restore up to 80% of your lost strength in 3 weeks. No squats, no machines, no wrecked knees. Let us get to work. Let us start with the muscle most people over 50 have never trained once in their entire life. The hamstrings. They run along the back of your thigh from your hip to the back of your knee, and they do one of the most critical jobs in your lower body. They slow you down. Every time you walk, your hamstring decelerates your leg before your foot hits the ground. Every time you go downstairs, your hamstring controls the descent so your knee does not slam under your body weight. Every time you stop suddenly or change direction, your hamstring is the brake. And here is the problem. Research shows that in most adults over 50, the hamstrings are 50 to 80% weaker than the quadriceps on the front of the thigh. That is not a small imbalance. That is a structural failure waiting to happen. When the front of the leg is dramatically stronger than the back, the knee joint absorbs forces from an angle it was never designed to handle. That is where the clicking starts. That is where the instability creeps in. That is where the pain shows up that you blame on old knees when the real problem was always behind the leg, not inside the joint. Here is what most people miss. They think hamstring strength is about flexibility. It is not. Stretching a hamstring makes it longer. It does not make it stronger. And a long, weak muscle is worse than a short, strong one because it cannot control anything. The standing hamstring curl builds the contractile strength that actually protects the knee. The strength that catches you when you stumble. The strength that controls you on stairs. The strength that squats never deliver because squats barely recruit the hamstring at all. Here's how to do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair with both hands resting lightly on the back. Feet hip-width apart. Shift your weight onto your left leg. Now slowly bend your right knee and lift your right heel toward your buttock. Pull it as high as you comfortably can. Squeeze the back of your thigh hard at the top. Hold for 2 seconds. Then lower slowly, taking 3 full seconds on the way down. That slow lowering is where the real strength gets built. Do not let the foot drop. Control every inch. Keep your standing leg strong and your hips still. No leaning, no swinging, just the hamstring doing the pulling. Week 1, 10 reps per leg. 2 rounds. Focus entirely on the squeeze at the top and the slow descent. Week 2, 12 reps per leg. Slow the lowering to 4 seconds. If you have an ankle weight or a resistance band, add it now. Week 3, 15 reps per leg, 3 rounds. Full slow tempo with resistance if available. No resistance? Slow the descent to 5 seconds. Time under tension does the same job. By the end of 3 weeks, going downstairs feels different, not because your knees changed, because the muscle that was supposed to be protecting them finally showed up for work. Now that the back of your legs can control the descent, it is time to rebuild the engine that powers every step you take, the muscle that pushes you forward, drives you upstairs, and launches you out of chairs. And it is the muscle that sitting has been slowly killing for decades. The standing hip extension targets your gluteus maximus and the entire posterior chain. Your glutes are the largest muscle in your body. They are the engine behind every powerful movement your legs make. Pushing off the ground when you walk, driving up a staircase, standing up from a deep chair, carrying something heavy across the room. When the glutes are strong, movement is effortless. When they are weak, your lower back takes the load it was never built to carry. That is why so many people over 50 develop chronic lower back pain that no amount of stretching resolves. The back is not the problem. The glutes that should be doing the work have gone silent. Here is what most people miss. Sitting does not just weaken your glutes. It reprograms your brain to stop sending signals to them. Doctors call it gluteal amnesia. After years of sitting 8 to 10 hours a day, your nervous system gradually reduces the electrical signal to the glutes because the brain concludes they are not needed. The muscle is still there, the wiring is still there, but the connection has gone dark. That is why you can have a body that looks fine and still feel weak when you try to climb stairs or push off the ground. The standing hip extension forces the brain to reopen that connection. Each rep is a signal being rebuilt. Here is how to do it. Stand behind your chair with both hands on the back. Shift your weight onto your left leg with a soft bend in that knee. Keep your right leg completely straight. Now slowly lift your right leg straight behind you. Do not bend the knee. Do not lean your chest forward to compensate. Stay upright. Lift until you feel your glute squeeze hard. That might be 6 inches off the ground. That might be 12. The height does not matter. The squeeze is everything. Hold for 2 seconds at the top, then lower slowly over 3 seconds. Do not swing. Do not use momentum. Drive the movement entirely from the glute. Week 1. 10 reps per leg, 2 rounds. Focus on feeling the glute fire, not on how high the leg goes. Week 2. 12 reps per leg. Add a 3-second hold at the top. Week 3. 15 reps per leg. 3 rounds. Add an ankle weight or resistance band if available. By the end of 3 weeks, standing up from chairs feels different. Walking feels like there is a spring behind every step. That is not imagination. That is a dormant muscle coming back online. And your lower back finally gets a break from the job it was never supposed to be doing alone. Now that the back of your legs is awake, it is time to build the single leg power that separates people who move confidently from people who hesitate. And the exercise that does it is not a squat. It is the step back lunge. Here is why this matters more than any squat ever could. A squat loads both legs equally. Life does not. Every step you take, every stair you climb, every time you get out of a car, one leg is doing the majority of the work while the other is along for the ride. If your strong leg has been compensating for your weak leg for years, a squat will never expose that imbalance. The step-back lunge forces each leg to work independently, and the first time you do it, you will discover which leg has been carrying you and which leg has been hiding. Here is what most people miss. They step back and drop straight down like a squat. That is wrong. The step-back lunge is a controlled deceleration. Your front leg has to absorb your body weight, stabilize your knee, and then drive you back to standing. That absorption phase is the entire point. It trains the eccentric strength that protects your joints during every real-world movement, catching yourself when you stumble, controlling your descent on stairs, slowing down when you change direction. Rush the descent and you are just falling into position. Slow it down and you are building the strength that keeps you safe. Here is how to do it. Stand next to your chair with one hand lightly touching it for balance. Feet hip-width apart. Take a comfortable step straight back with your right foot. Lower your body by bending both knees. Your front knee stays directly over your ankle. Never let it push past your toes. Lower until your back knee is a few inches from the floor, or as far as is comfortable. Pause for 1 second at the bottom. Then press through the heel of your front foot and drive yourself back to standing. That drive through the heel is what activates the quad and glute together. Push through the toes and you lose the glute entirely. Week 1. 6 reps per leg. 2 rounds. Use the chair for balance. Focus only on the slow 3-second descent and the pause at the bottom. Week 2. 8 reps per leg. Try releasing the chair for a few reps to challenge your balance. Week 3. 10 reps per leg. 3 rounds. Hold a light weight against your chest or slow the descent to 4 seconds. By the end of 3 weeks, stairs feel completely different. Not because you are stronger in a general sense, because each leg individually has built the eccentric control and the push-off power that stairs actually demand, and the weak side that was hiding behind the strong side has finally been forced to do its share. Now that your legs can push and control independently, it is time to train the movement that most exercise programs completely forget. The one that decides whether your feet clear the ground when you walk or catch on every rug, curb, and crack in the sidewalk. The standing knee drive targets your hip flexors. These are the muscles at the front of your hip that lift your thigh with every single step. Every time you take a step, your hip flexor lifts that leg, swings it forward, and places it in front of you. You do this roughly 2,000 times per mile. When the hip flexors weaken, your body compensates by shortening your stride. Your steps get smaller. You start shuffling. And shuffling is dangerous because your feet barely clear the ground. Here is what most people miss. After years of sitting, most people have tight hip flexors. But tight does not mean strong. In fact, chronically tight hip flexors are almost always weak hip flexors. They have shortened from sitting, but they have lost the contractile power to actually lift the leg under load. That is why you can feel tight in your hips and still struggle to lift your feet high enough to step over a garden hose. Tightness and weakness are not opposites. They are the same problem from different angles. The standing knee drive fixes both because it forces the hip flexor to contract through a full range against the resistance of gravity and your leg's weight. Here is how to do it. Stand tall. Now slowly drive your right knee up toward your chest as high as it will comfortably go. At the top, hold for 5 full seconds. Do not let the leg drift back down. Hold it. Feel the deep contraction at the front of your hip. Then slowly lower over 3 seconds. Switch legs. Left knee up. Hold 5 seconds. Lower over 3 seconds. The hold at the top is what separates this from walking. Walking lifts the knee a few inches with momentum. This exercise lifts it to full range and holds it there under muscular effort. That demand is what rebuilds the power your hip flexors lost from sitting. Week 1. 8 reps per leg with a 3-second hold at the top. 2 rounds. Week 2. 10 reps per leg. Increase the hold to 5 seconds. Week 3, 12 reps per leg, 3 rounds with 5-second holds. Add a light ankle weight if available. By the end of 3 weeks, walking feels lighter. Your stride feels longer without you trying to make it longer. Your feet clear the ground with every step. That is not effort. That is a muscle that finally has enough power to do its job again. Now that every major muscle from your hamstrings to your hip flexors is firing, it is time for the move that ties everything together from the ground up, and it targets the muscle group that quietly controls your balance, your circulation, and whether you stay on your feet for the next 30 years. The single leg calf raise rebuilds a muscle most people take completely for granted until it starts failing. Your calves are not just walking muscles, they are your body's second heart. Every time your calf contracts, it squeezes the veins in your lower leg and pumps blood back upward toward your core. When your calves weaken, circulation slows, ankles swell, legs feel heavy by evening, and the ankle stability that prevents falls deteriorates silently until one day you step off a curb and your ankle cannot catch you. Here is what most people miss. They train calves with both feet at the same time, which lets the stronger side carry the weaker side without either one actually improving. Your left calf could be 30% weaker than your right, and you would never know because they are always working together. The single leg version eliminates that hiding. Each calf has to hold your full body weight, pump independently, and stabilize your ankle alone. That is where real strength and real balance are built. Here is how to do it. Stand behind your chair with one hand lightly touching the back. Shift your weight entirely onto your right foot. Lift your left foot an inch off the ground. Now slowly rise onto the ball of your right foot. Lift as high as your ankle allows. Squeeze hard at the top. Hold for 2 seconds. Then lower over 3 full seconds. Do not bounce. Do not drop. Control the descent until your heel just barely touches the floor. Then rise again. Each rep should feel like your calf is doing real work. If it feels easy, you are going too fast. Week 1, 8 reps per leg, 2 rounds. Focus on the slow tempo and the squeeze at the top. Week 2, 10 reps per leg. Add a 1-second pause at the bottom stretch before rising again. Week 3, 12 reps per leg, 3 rounds. Stand on the edge of a step with your heel hanging off for extra range. Same slow tempo. By the end of 3 weeks, your ankles feel more stable on every surface. Your legs feel lighter by evening. That heaviness that used to settle in by 3 in the afternoon starts to fade, and the spring in your step that most people lose by 55 returns without you even trying. That is not your imagination. That is the second heart finally pumping the way it was designed to. That is your complete system. 5 exercises, 3 weeks, no squats, no machines, no wrecked knees, just the muscles that squats were never designed to reach, finally doing the job they were built for. Here is your plan. Do all 5 exercises 3 times per week with a rest day between sessions. Each session takes about 12 to 15 minutes. Follow the weekly progressions exactly. Week 1 builds the foundation. Week 2 adds volume and tempo. Week 3 adds resistance and intensity. By day 21, your legs will not feel like the same legs you started with. But here is the real question. Are you going to start tonight or let this become one more video you watched and forgot? The strength is right there. It has been waiting. All it costs is showing up. Pick one exercise from this list. Do it today, not tomorrow. Today. Then come back tomorrow and add the next one. By the end of the week, you have the full routine. By the end of 3 weeks, you have your legs back. If this gave you a plan worth following, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because your strongest years are not behind you. They are the ones you build starting now.